What makes you think you're the good guy in this scenario, huh?
Exactly.
Everyone thinks they're the hero of their own story.
Whoa, that was not it.
Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the
Adventure, relevancy, connection, power. Words that describe, well, not most of us. For the rest, life is the day-to-day, paying bills, raising kids, and going to work, and coming home to watch anime or Marvel Swill. I actually really like the Swill, by the way. We watch the real heroes do real things in completely non-real settings. Doesn't that make you feel small? Not good? What's a big word here? Tap, 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 tap. Inconsequential? But why? Why do we throw ourselves in other worlds, games, films, and animations instead of unplugging and facing the real world? Or heck, why do we create these worlds? The artists. It's not always for money. Sometimes it's just for ourselves. Let's see. Life's pretty amazing when you think about it. On a grand scale, at least just being born. I mean, that's a win. You get a childhood, some fun in high school, and sure, not all of it is great, but enough to remember. But then adulthood hits, and suddenly it's all on you, your happiness, your responsibility, and here's the hard truth. Most of us have to fail before we learn how to carry that weight. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and some parts, they're grueling, they drag, they hurt. And in those stretches, you need something. A break, a distraction, maybe even escape. Because sometimes the best way to survive your world is to step into another. Escapism. Escapism is a word we've all heard before, maybe in some intro class or some introspective YouTube videos, not entirely unlike this one. But escapism is more than just a word. It's a principle and a tool, a natural response, and for today's topic, a bridge. It's the gray area between good and bad, between taking a break and losing yourself. Escapism isn't new, it existed long before the first picture shows or written words. As soon as humans could dream of a belly full of food, we dreamed of more. And now, in a world where we don't have to worry about surviving the next day, we dream of different things. Fulfillment, love, duty, exploration, and much more. I'd rather go on a hero's journey and fail than clocking out work, but that's not how life works, is it? So I watch the little people on their little screens face their little trials and tribulations for a little moment and feel a little better and a little inspired to keep going a little longer. This isn't our survival tactic, it's how many of us live. It's how we use escapism for fun, for relief, for carrying burdens we don't always realize we have. But sometimes we overdo it. 1,000 episodes of One Piece, cosplaying heroes at conventions, getting lost in these shows and even getting obsessed and overindulge, things we might never dare to do without these stories whispering, it's okay to be different, it's okay. And yeah, I use the word indulge, but indulging isn't always bad because escaping just for a little while is what keeps us moving forward, as long as we remember to come back. Breathe life into the mundane. I've always loved escaping into hero fantasies ever since I was a kid. No, I never learned how to fly or wield a sword, and I didn't do anything cool, but those stories, they taught me something important. Back in high school, one of my friends, they messed up bad. They ruined a school play at the very last moment. I mean, we got it handled, but trust me, they did some pretty rough stuff. And it was their fault, no question. People were upset and they didn't hold back. The shouting, the judgment was brutal. I remember finding them outside school, crying alone, and I sat with them. Well, when literally no one else would, and I didn't judge. I just told them I've got your back, and I wasn't their best friend in the world, but I was their friend, and their best friends turned their back on them. Here's the thing. They didn't appreciate it in the long run. We drifted apart, but when I look back at that moment, I feel proud because I didn't do it for gratitude. I did it because I wanted to be the kind person. I wanted to be the guy that shows up when no one else would, like a hero, stepping in during the quiet moments no one else sees, because it's the right thing to do. All this to say, these stories we escape into, they show us who we could be. Heroism, kindness, passion, they're not just fiction. They already exist in the real world. And there's honor in trying to do something fantastic in a world that might feel mundane. Because when you look closer, the world isn't all that mundane after all. So live with purpose, live with courage, and above all, live with gusto. Well, okay, that got a little real for a moment. Anyways, look, I know I care too much about things that don't technically exist, heroes, magic, swords, little people on little screens, but here we are, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. So if you're like me and you love overthinking stories, pretending it's for self-improvement, why not stick around? We'll see what we can learn, share a few laughs, and maybe justify watching a little too much anime. Either way, thanks for making it this far. Hope to see you again. Same time, same place, same nerdy nonsense. Hope to see you soon. Have a good time. Goodbye. Wait, no. I don't like that.